Hey everyone, I'm Liz Ferry.
Hey guys, I'm Joey.
Welcome to another WIP Wednesday stream. Before we start real quick, I just wanted to say that last week I told you guys that I was going to change my Patreon account so that if you join Patreon, you pay up front instead of having to wait until the first of the next month. So I've done that. So if you guys want to join on Patreon, then you can do that and you'll have access to all of the perks for Patreon right away. And then one other thing that I wanted to just randomly bring up is I've been thinking about adding a couple of new perks to Patreon, but some of them I kind of don't really necessarily like I can't really do them unless there's more people. So those ones I'm going to put on the back burner for now. But one thing that I was thinking of doing is maybe uploading some of my videos without as many ads and without a audio, like a music soundtrack, maybe potentially to Patreon only. Yeah, just so because I've had a couple of people say that they would rather not have music, and obviously not having as many ads would be good.
Oh hey, Demonly Angelic.
Oh hey, Demonly's here. Nice.
Yeah.
What's up, Demonly? Nice to see you in the chat.
But yeah, that'd be a nice way for patrons to be basically be able to watch your content without having as much of the ads and
exactly.
And also you guys would play your own music, I guess.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if that would be something that you guys are into, so if you are, let me know in the chat and or in the comment section. And the other thing that I want to eventually start doing is things I want to do polls for what I can do for future tutorials and future patterns, but and then also maybe giveaways and stuff like that. But obviously it doesn't really make sense to do something like a poll or a giveaway if there's literally one or two people that are on Patreon. Yeah. So I'm gonna wait until we have more people for that type of content. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and check out our Patreon page, which is in the description. So
so with that said, let's get on to some of our whips, and thanks again for anybody joining us.
All right.
On live or in the archives.
Our ad is still... Let me skip that ad. Okay.
Anyway.
All right. So, let's do... So the first whip that I want to show you guys is an update on, I think pretty much, not everything, but pretty much everything in this pile is updates from the stuff we showed last week. Not all of it, though. So last time I showed you guys that I had just barely started construction on a cheeseburger backpack that is modeled after the pattern for this little tiny cheeseburger here. This was the prototype, and this pattern is available for free on Patreon as well if you guys are interested in that. So here's what I have so far. This is the top bun, and the liner is kind of falling out at the moment, but I've also got the zipper partially installed here on this side, and all of these bobby pins here. I have all these bobby pins here to keep everything from closing, or from opening, sorry. The opposite of that. Right. And then I have the top part of the liner is here, not connected to anything. Oh, here, let me scroll down. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I scrolled up earlier because I wanted, that was when I was checking if we muted the window. Okay, so.
Yeah, it's nice that you could make it.
Demonly's here after missing for a few weeks, but you know, that's life,
always tough when you have to.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, that was another thing that I wanted to bring up. So, here's another idea that I had, and I kind of just had this idea today. So let's discuss it, because I don't think I've even talked to you about this.
Okay, yeah, let's just throw it out there.
I every week that we are doing these I'll get to that in a minute. Hang on. Sorry. Okay. Let me order my thoughts. All right. So every week that we've done these WIP Wednesdays, I've been here for about a half hour, and we've shown maybe 7 things at the most every week.
Between 5
and a couple of times we've not had the WIP Wednesday because of the fact that it's I just didn't have that many whips at the time. So I was almost wondering, what if we temporarily, until we actually move, if we made them less frequent and just did them for longer, because then people might maybe potentially be able to catch them because it's like just a longer stream. But then the other trade-off with that is that maybe people wouldn't be able to catch it because it's not on
it's happening less and more
exactly.
infrequently.
So I don't know. You guys should weigh in the chat and in the comments about whether you would rather have less frequent, longer streams or shorter, more frequent streams. So let us know.
Let us know in the chat or in the comments later.
Oh, and D is here. Hi, what's up?
Hey D, some familiar names
popping
up in chat. Thank you again for coming to our WIPs.
So let me show you guys a little closer view of what I've got so far on this burger, and I'm going to show you the prints that I'm going to use for the rest of the layers in a moment. So here is the top layer of the liner here, and the bottom layer of the liner is pinned in place already. There's a random hair in here. That's the case when you're doing fiber crafts. And here's the zipper. It's still just pinned in place. I haven't sewn anything down yet, but theoretically it should zip all the way from down here to over here like a backpack, which is what it's going to be. So theoretically I'm gonna sew all of this down, and then eventually I'm gonna put this in place as well. Whoops, sorry guys, I didn't mean to hit you in the face with that. But
right, you got pins in there. Be careful.
Yeah, sorry. You could actually even hear the little clink of the metal when I hit you guys in the face. I'm sorry about that. But anyway,
it's alright. They're tough.
So theoretically, this is gonna go on top of all of that after it's sewn together, something like that. I mean, I'm gonna sew it to the inside. Obviously, I'm just trying to get it to balance. But then I'm gonna just continue working around it after I've sewn everything in place, and I'm pretty much gonna do that with all of the layers. So let me show you guys the prints that I got for the next layers of the burger. It's just a bunch of fabric quarters that are just in solid colors or in just random cute simple prints.
Yeah, so that was the flat brown color that we had for the bun.
And Hadim Henley says that she's happy with any stream. That's so sweet of you to say. And what was it that Colossum Customs in Gaming said? How did y'all make rose quartz dress? That is potentially going to come at a later time. So I haven't actually worked on my rose quartz dress pattern in a little while. So just check back eventually, and I will let you know.
Juggling all the different projects.
Okay, so D looks forward to the live chats. So yeah, just let us know if you guys think you would rather have longer streams or shorter streams, like longer, less frequent, or shorter, more frequent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get to that rose quartz dress eventually. I've just got a lot of things I'm juggling right now.
Yeah, let's go through some of these WIPs, and then maybe we'll pull out the.
Actually, Rose is currently packed away, we're gonna have to.
Is she boxed up?
Yeah, she's boxed up because we're actually in the process of trying to move right now.
So we do have a bunch of stuff.
So a lot of stuff is packed up right now. So I'll have to get to Rose a little later in the future. I'll be showing you guys some other Crystal Gems dolls later on in the video though that I've been working on. So this is the print that I use just for it's not really a print. This one is just the same as it's the same fabric that I used for the top bun, and it's going to be the same one that I used for the bottom bun. So that's the first layer. The next layer, I have these little green tie-dyed fabric squares. I think these are pretty cute, and I don't know, I feel like they have a really nice lettucey vibe, so I'm gonna use these guys for the lettuce pocket.
The lettuce lining.
Yep. So there's gonna be the lettuce liner pocket. And the thing about the cheeseburger backpack is that everything is a pocket. Even the cheese is a pocket. So here's the cheese liner. This is just a simple polka dot print, and I just really like the just simple print aesthetic for the inside of this bag. And I feel like kind of simple things like this have kind of like a picnicky vibe, I guess.
Especially the polka dot.
So I have this yellow polka dot that I'm going to use for the cheese liner. And then for the meat layer, we have just a straight brown solid fabric quarter. Yeah, I agree. It is kind of nice when there is more people. So, theoretically, if we were doing the longer streams less frequently, we would have, more of a schedule a scheduled thing going, maybe potentially. So maybe more people might be able to make it. It's kind
of scheduled out right now.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see what more people think when this video goes public.
So we can get a larger consensus.
And also, Demonly is currently working on an elephant. So nice. Everybody's got their whips going.
Yeah, right. That's cool. Elephant.
All right. So here's another. This is the tomato layer. So this one's just another polka dot print, but red polka dots. I feel like this one's got a bit of a strawberry feel.
Right.
It just reminds me of strawberry fabric, I guess.
Just make a little strawberry pillow out of it.
I think I don't remember what it was. Either I had a dress or I had a doll that had a dress that was like a strawberry print that looked like this, but the bottom had like leaves or something. I can't remember, but it was something strawberry like that had polka dots like this. So yeah, that's the last of those prints. So hopefully that goes well, and
yeah, it's going to be a pretty epic project once you get it complete.
Yeah, I am committed to making all the pockets. Well, I mean, like, it's very rare that I do make something really nice for myself, so I'm kind of going to go all out for this.
Right, yeah.
And, I mean, why not make a tutorial and a pattern while I'm at it? So you guys can make it, too, if you guys want. An elephant rug. Oh, my God, that is so cute. That's awesome. Nice. That's really cool. So,
next,
let's move to the next one.
Yeah, what should we pull out next?
I think I might want to do the flower doll maybe first next. Okay. And you know what? Just hand me that pink wig next, just because I don't even remember if I showed you guys this. So that's the only reason why I wanted to show it to you guys. I don't remember if I showed this in a previous WIP Wednesday or not, since I brushed it out and made it like a full wig. So I have this pink strawberry milkshake looking wig. I think that's what I called it last time. But I'm pretty sure the last time I showed you guys this wig, it was still yarn. So I just wanted to really quickly show you that wig. Maybe in a minute I'll show you it on a doll, but first let me show you my other things that
disembodied floating wig.
So let me show you guys the other dolls real quick. Last week, or the last episode, I showed you guys my doll's afro update. And she had her afro only halfway fluffed so that I could show you guys the difference. So now her afro is fully fluffed and she has a really nice full
I know, I love how that came out.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I love
the overall texture to it. Is
and I love this color of yarn. I think this one is, actually I think this is two yarns. This is, I think, Monet and watercolor, I think, are the two yarns that I used for this. But I love how the watercolors just blend together so prettily. It looks like a little rainbow cloud. It's really, really pretty. So that ended up coming together way better than expected. And I'm really glad with this technique because I've looked at a lot of like doll artists like hair videos to try to like see what other people have been doing to try to get stuff like this, but I haven't really liked anything that I've seen, I guess, as much. So I kind of set out to try to find like the best way of making a doll afro, and I think I kind of hit on it. So that tutorial is going to be coming soon. I have my wigs tutorial currently in progress, and that's going to be I think the last episode of my wig series is going to show you how to make an afro like this, or in that video, because it's kind of a full wigs tutorial series, and the last episode I think is going to involve like curling the hair and stuff, so that's going to be in that video. So let's move on to the next. Could you hand me the other doll with the black wig on?
Yeah.
So currently Alice is modeling a wig for us. This is my Alice doll that usually is supposed to be wearing a blonde wig. I have it over there to the side, but right now she's going to be modeling this one because this is the wig that I'm currently making in the second part of that tutorial series that I just mentioned for wigs. And I'm in the process of making that tutorial right now. So as you can see, the wig is only halfway.
Yeah, it's another half and half.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you guys the difference between before and after I straightened the hair. So this is obviously before, because of how much volume this hair has before you straighten it, versus after it like loses all of that volume. So it's like kind of a useful thing to know, because if you want to do certain styles and certain doll characters, you would want it to keep this huge like
that volume, type of volume and texture,
like texture, yeah. But then for other styles, you might want to do something more like this. So it's kind of like an interesting different like texture that you get from both methods. So if you guys are interested in that, then make sure you check back at the channel in a couple of weeks, because my wig tutorials are just about to start to come out. And if you join up on Patreon, you'll get those things early too. So that's just another reason for you guys to join up on Patreon if you wanted to do that. And I think that at the end of the week is when Patreon, when I'm going to be uploading the first of this series to Patreon. So, all right. So let me show you guys that other wig on a doll real quick before we move on.
Oh yeah, you got the pink one on.
Yeah, let me just show you guys the pink one on a doll. I think that I'm going to actually go back with this doll, because I was originally going to brush it a different way than I ended up deciding to. So I want to add one more weft to it, because you can pretty clearly see, really clearly see why when I show you it on the camera. But like you can see the wefts and the wig cap through this gap here. I ended up changing my mind and wanting it to be like a side or a middle part wig instead of like brushing it back to the back of the head. So I'm going to add another weft set to like cover this all up after. But I just wanted to show you guys how those colors ended up blending together. It's got like a nice milky strawberry vibe, which is what I was going for with this wig. I actually really, really like how those colors look together.
Yeah, the way everything blends together looks really nice.
And it's so shiny. So shiny. All right, so the other thing that I wanted to show you guys, this is just a random, real quick thing. Could you hand me both of those blonde wigs? For my Alice doll, I was going to originally just use this straight wig, which I think I'm maybe going to stick with after this investigation that I conducted, but I started to curl this spare blonde wig that I had just to kind of see what it would look like, and I think it looks really, really cute, but I just don't really like it for this Alice doll, so I'm not going to use it for that. But I think that this would look really nice for a different doll though, so I'm like gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah, so if anyone has ideas for a Goldilocks, but not Goldilocks character.
Maybe Goldilocks.
You could do Goldilocks.
Well, what does Goldilocks even look like?
Really, I know. Really, the golden locks are really
that's the only thing that's definitely canon.
Everything else is speculation.
Yeah, seriously. So I didn't actually get through finishing it because this wig is actually not a good. It was just this is one of the first wigs that I made, so it doesn't actually work very well. It kind of is like, it doesn't stretch. So this one was just like a test of this method, so I'm not going to end up using this. But I think that those curls kind of came out pretty cute, just like the comparison between the two textures. And that'll be interesting when I... Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this black wig that I was showing you. It is actually going to be Connie Maheshwaran's wig eventually, because I'm making my Steven Universe dolls. So eventually this is going to, once I finish doing all of the straightening, I'm going to add like a little light wave to the straightened hair so that it's like mostly straight but with a little bit of curl, just because of how Connie's hair looks. So hopefully next week I'll update that, and hopefully next week I'll actually have made Connie, because I haven't actually made Connie at all yet. I've just started making her wig. So I am going to make her, so I figured that I could start making the wig.
And Wendy says she hopes she can join Patreon, but money's been tight. And although Patreon would help us a lot, if you guys please, by all means, you guys take care of yourselves first. If you're not in a position to be able to...
don't think that you have to donate to Patreon. It helps a lot for you guys to even be here watching our videos.
Yeah, thank you so much just for joining us. And
if you want to help in ways that don't involve monetary ways, then you can share the videos on any social media platforms. Tell your friends
and
that
share, subscribe.
Yeah, show people the WIP Wednesday stream, bring people into chat. Anything like that also helps a lot.
Yeah.
And it helps to grow the channel. So that's one of the most important things too.
I mean, but the thought, the thought counts.
It's really
thank you so much. But if you're not in a position, please,
And Galaxia Nova is here. It's nice to see so many familiar faces in the chat this time, or familiar screen names, I should say. Now I think we should move on to the Steven Universe dolls. So let's bring all of those over. That's one of the Steven Universe doll things.
So which?
Well, I guess let's start with Steven first, because I haven't really done much on him except for his wig. That is not actually done at all yet. It's just...
Oh, this hair is so good, though.
It looks cute, but...
I love this hairstyle on Steven.
I know, he does look really cute with his hair up like this. It looks like he's got little locks. It's really cute. But, and I do think he could pull off this look, but this is just the preemptive state. I've only added, just the plain yarn wefts to the wig, and I haven't, done any of the brushing out or any of that stuff. So eventually this will be a full Steven wig that's brushed and curled out and all that stuff. But currently he's just got his hair up in locks, and I just it was just so cute. I had to show it to you guys.
And Wendy asks, how easy do the wigs go on and how do they stay on?
They're pretty good. Let me give you guys a demonstration with this one's actually fairly decent, because this is obviously my newer wigs are better than my old ones, but that just kind of just munches right onto her head, and then I just kind of straighten it onto the head, and
get some good head banging action there.
Yeah, that's on pretty good.
But so you have a hair tie in there now?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's a hair elastic that's keeping it on the head, so it's stretchy and it holds on pretty well. And also, if you wanted any extra strength, you could also put pins or something in the head to keep it. Obviously, not for something that you were giving to a little kid or something like that. Yeah. You wouldn't want to use pin. I actually use bobby pins sometimes too, if you want any extra strength and hold without it being damaging or anything like that. So I think if you're making it for a really young kid, you should definitely attach the hair directly. Attach it. But it I guess it also kind of depends on the kid, and also on how much they're being supervised when they're playing and all that kind of stuff. But I would say 5 is where it gets that's the cutoff point
where you might want to use your judgment.
On a case by case basis, use your judgment. Yeah, exactly.
Because the whole idea of making them wigs is so that way they can be interchangeable and you can pull them off and make up different characters and stuff like that. But obviously with children, they tend to have a way of losing things or pulling stuff off, so
yeah,
it's always good to be mindful of those kinds of things.
Yeah, for a wig for a little kid wig, I don't know if I would even use this method exactly, because I'm sure a determined kid could just pull all of this off. But if they're a kid that's not going to if they're a kid who knows how to treat toys and stuff like that, because obviously kids are going to be different depending on
different children treat their toys differently, so it's.
So, Galaxia says, when you brush it out, do you yarn twice the length you want because you always lose some? I usually add maybe an inch or so, but depending on how you do it, you can preserve kind of a good amount of length. So I only make it an inch or so,
a little bit over. In the technique and the tools too, probably too,
because your tools and your technique definitely make a big difference with how much hair you lose.
Because using that cat groomer thing makes a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. And you can find all of this and more on my wig technique tutorial, which is not out yet, but when it comes out, this is a good opportunity to put a card up.
Right. Yeah.
Up on the where is it? It's over there. It's over there. Okay. So so in the future,
future self, do that.
Yeah, do that. But so short that you couldn't do anything with it. That's a shame. How did you use Velcro to try brushing out yarn?
Wow.
How would you even do that? Anyway. Oh yeah, those wire pet brushes. Yeah, maybe you could find one on Amazon or something. I don't know, because we got lucky. We did find a really nice cat brush.
Yeah, you should show off.
Yeah, let me show you guys. This is the tool that I've been. It's got a little bit of fibers on it still from the wigs from earlier, but yeah, I just use one of these wire cat brushes for my doll hair because that is definitely worth. It's definitely worth the.
It saves a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes it have a completely different look too, where you can totally actually pull off the technique with a regular brush, but it'll take way longer and do a lot more damage to the hair. So, it's kind of worth it. Oh, and Wendy says you can find them online cheap, and she found hers at Walmart. So
yeah, so if you look around and know what you're looking for, you can find them.
Just look at pet sections all over the place. I think we did actually end up having to go to a pet store specifically to get ours, because we couldn't. I think we tried to find it in a couple of random stores around here, but we couldn't find one either.
Yeah,
but we did end up having to go to a pet store. So so that was the Steven with the locks. Let me show you. Hand me the Stevani first, because I haven't really done anything on her like wig or her. Well, I finished her clothes, but her clothes is packed away, so she's just gonna have to be a poor naked baby for now. But one thing I did work on with this Stevani, which some of you guys that have seen the WIP Wednesdays in the past, or my Stevani video, might notice that I did a lot of detail sewing for the body, so to shape the body a little bit more. Let me bring it a little closer so you can see. Now it kind of has a little bit more like intrinsic shape to the body. Like you can really see it at the back.
Definitely the back, that shows off the crease in the back really well. I
don't know if I have a before shot of this doll. Maybe in a past WIP Wednesday when I showed it. Maybe for the future video I might like put it up on the screen. But for now, like, you guys will just have to trust me I did a bunch of sewing to like shape the bust and to like give it a little bit of a crease in here and like down the back, and I also pulled in the top of the crotch and pulled the butt in a little bit better so she has a little more of a shapely butt, and also I outlined her gem with some stitches of the same color of her body to make it kind of look more embedded into,
like it's a little bit more a piece of her.
Yeah, kind of makes her gem look super like an innie though, like I don't know, it's like a super pronounced like
red.
You know what I mean? It makes her belly button look huge. You know what I mean? Right. But no, it's I guess that's kind of what it looks like.
Kind of, yeah.
So,
no, it's like a little outie belly button.
So I just did a little bit of stitching to try to like shape the body a little bit better. Yeah, good wigs wigs take a long time to make. Like, you'd think they wouldn't take as long as they do because they're so small, but they're pretty labor intensive, especially if they're using like actual doll hair, because I can testify to the fact that doll hair is impossible. Not impossible, obviously, but it's really hard to work with. So, I mean, like, that's what you're paying for, is somebody else had to work
right.
with that
all
with
those
that
sweat
material.
And tears for somebody
Seriously.
else's.
Hand me the pearl and the amethyst next, because for them I also did more work sewing their bodies together. I don't remember. I think that last time I showed you guys, Pearl didn't have a leg or an arm. I'm not sure if I remember, but I did more work on their bodies the same way that I did with the rose, so they have a little bit more detail on their bodies. Pearl is a little too bright for this camera. She's got a little bit of glare going on her. Oh no, Demon Lee's YouTube crashed. Come back, Demon Lee. But But yeah, I also did the outlining of Pearl's pearl with some yarn of the same color, and I did some stitching on her body, and the same with the amethyst. I outlined her amethyst and did some stitching to add some detail to the body. And I still haven't made their arms yet, but that's going to be next. So, oh yeah, and that's the other thing that I did was, for some reason, when I made Amethyst's leg the first time, it randomly came out really big, so I actually frogged it and redid it. So now her legs are a little more evenly sized. Right. So the one other thing that I did for these two, or not, I did work on amethysts a little bit, but not enough that I really want. I literally added one weft, so it wasn't really that much. So I'm not even going to show that. But I did make, this is a little bit more of an awkward wig. This is the test of the wigs, I guess, about how well
how versatile you can style these things.
Seriously. Pearl's head is just so small, it's almost hard to get the wig onto her head just because of her head, not the wig itself. Because I could probably get this wig on a different head, but Pearl's head is so tiny. Okay, I got it. So this is her wig so far. I haven't completed it yet, but this is pretty much what it's going to look like. It's kind of, basically, it's just too long. I have to trim her bangs, and I have to trim the back of her head, because this is just like...
an aesthetic ever.
She would think of herself as unkempt if she let herself go like this.
Absolutely.
But, what's the first original thing I crocheted, and what inspired me to take it up?
Asks Wendy.
Asks Wendy.
Yes. Thank you for the comments, guys, by the way.
Yeah.
And the questions. Always nice to hear from you. But yeah, what do you think is the first thing?
The first thing that I crocheted was probably like a random hat of some kind. But I would say that was kind of just like a random... It was probably some other person's technique from just watching a YouTube tutorial or something like that. But the first thing that was like, I guess, something original that I crocheted, I randomly made this 4 Seasons hat for this girl that I knew that was like, it was like a hat that like, it had like a spring and a summer and a winter and a fall like going all around it, and it was like a tree, and as you went around it, it had like the seasons changed, I guess, and it was a really, really trippy hat, and then on the inside it had like autumn colors or something, but it was a really, really trippy hat, and if I have a picture of that, I will put that up in the highlights video. But I think that was the first design that I originally made myself. So, yeah.
And that you kind of just started taking off with making more crochet stuff.
Because I think early on, the first things that I really got into making were just hats, because I was just like wearing them
that's
more, I guess.
The typical first go-to crochet thing, probably for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hats and scarves and such.
And I think I made a rainbow unicorn wig, too, early on. Because I did a rainbow unicorn. I dressed as a robotic rainbow unicorn for Halloween one year, and I made the wig for that. But it was like a pretty basic yarn wig that wasn't like brushed out or anything like that. It was just the yarn. Yeah. It was like not. It was definitely not like these wigs. Not that I could really get that type of length out of a yarn wig, really. Not completely. Or not in the same way anyway.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm gonna just trim and recurl Pearl's hair later this week, and then I'll give you guys and then I'll give you guys an update on what Pearl's wig looks like once I've trimmed it. And the last one is Garnet. Last time I showed you guys Garnet, she was just barely done, and it's funny because she's the last gem I started making, and she's the first one I finished. So like, I don't know why that happens, but I think it's because I wanted to pin her gems on, and because I didn't want them to get lost or anything, so I just pinned them on because I wanted to make her arms real quick, and since I made the arms, I might as well make the leg, right?
Right.
So I finished Garnet, and also I did that stitching on her body. I think Garnet looks gorgeous. Like, just the detail on her body, like, I think she came out pretty amazing. And I think that maybe because I'm going to be, I don't know if many of you guys saw last Wednesday's episode of WIP Wednesday, but I brought up that I was going to be making new body types for dolls in my Ravelry store, and this is going to be one of them. And I've just been like, I just can't stop thinking of random characters that I could make for these dolls. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was thinking, like, wouldn't this make a great like Jessica Rabbit
Oh yeah,
doll?
that would be a really good one.
Or like some like pinup doll type things. Like freaking, I could make like random like classic like pinup like art inspired dolls.
Or make
and stuff
like a Betty
that.
Boop or something.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Yeah, Betty Boop.
Yeah.
Be cute.
I just keep thinking of random dolls like for these new body types. And then also for like my muscular doll, I'm really excited. I'm going to try to make a bismuth with that muscular doll pattern that I already have. So it's just exciting to just think of all the different characters that I can make with these new doll body types. So yeah.
And yeah, the afro
And yes,
technique,
I am going to use the
yes.
afro technique for Garnet. Hopefully
Yeah,
it comes out really
definitely.
well. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to see if I can get it into like a square form and see if I can kind of like squish it into a really nice perfect square. But hopefully
Yeah, this is all kind
hopefully
of
it will
figuring
work.
out how
So,
this.
yeah,
figuring out
Garnet's
how to
wig
make this
is
work.
I've only cut the wefts so far, so hopefully it'll go well. We'll update you guys next time. So that was the last of our whips.
Yeah.
I love this Garnet though. She looks so dark in this lighting. She looks a lot more, you can see her a lot better on the other camera. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for like, and for the amethyst too, because like there's a bunch of characters that I could make that have this body type too. Like me, for instance. And also the pearl too,
Yeah,
because
right.
like freaking there's tons of characters that are like
Yeah, no,
that
there's
have that body type as well.
there's an excellent
like,
variety of body types.
Yeah. So like that'll be fun when we get to doing that.
Yeah.
So it was really awesome chatting with you guys. This
Yeah,
week.
thank you
There
so
was
much for
many
you
people in
guys
the chat
coming
this
to
time,
join
so
us
that was
live,
really
or
cool.
anyone that's coming to see this in the archives afterwards.
Let's see how many dolls I can carry at once.
No, right. It's always nice to hear your guys' comments and what you guys are working on, and just different questions you guys have about how Liz works on her stuff.
Wendy says that she started crocheting with a really long scarf inspired by an anime. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I always love fandom crochet. That's like one of my favorite things. So if you guys have any fandom crochet pictures that you want to send to me, send that to my Tumblr.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
check out.
Yeah,
Look
and
at
then
the
you guys can
Tumblr,
also
all the
follow me on
links, follow-
Tumblr, on Facebook, and also here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys for another WIP Wednesday in 2 weeks, and we'll update you on all of this stuff. Hopefully my cheeseburger backpack will be a little further along, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.